New report now from the Pentagon about unidentified flying objects. There were hundreds of new reported sightings over the last year, and some the government still can't explain.
You'd think farms are just home to cattle and crops, but they're holding out on us.
Это же не дирижабль. Да ну нафиг.
From extraterrestrial visitors to unusual findings. You never know what you'll find above or below the ground.
They spotted. Can you see that?
Stay with me as I take you through some of the most terrifying discoveries from a farm.
Ach was, man. Das gibt's doch nicht.
They spotted. Can you see that?
Rendlesham Forest, England has been dubbed the Roswell of the United Kingdom because of a UFO crash in the 1980s, and the British government did not hide the incident. They actually made a track around the crash site in the forest, naming it the Rendlesham Forest UFO Trail. The government took away the real UFO for study and analysis. They still left a replica behind for the people to see.
Strange markings on the side, and one of them even can reach out and touch the side of the craft.
No secrets, no cover-ups. Wish our government would admit the truth, too. If the British government admits that a UFO crashed on its land, maybe it's time for the UFO skeptics to rethink their views, especially when one of the world's biggest governments is acknowledging their existence.
I think the Nazcalans are in Peru, the pyramids of Giza, this place, Rendlesham Forest, implying that maybe this was not from another planet, but actually from another time.
Spooky pass.
Ach was, man. Das gibt's doch nicht.
In September 2023, a small town in Germany was left in awe as a UFO flew by it. The craft was flying slowly, as if trying to pass by undetected. It hovered over the forest for a while, and then drifted off into the clouds. If the aliens in these UFOs are trying to make contact with Earthlings, they surely have chosen the spookiest way to do it. Or it could be that they too are scared of making contact first, and are just observing for starters. But they've been doing this for years now. It seems like they don't want to be friendly at all, and might have some darker intentions.
Ich glaub's echt nicht.
Crazy puzzle. In rural Ohio, a family celebrating Christmas in 2023 in their yard caught a glimpse of something amazing. A glowing UFO appeared behind the trees. The internet went wild when they saw this, because citizens of the same area reported Bigfoot sightings in the area too. Now everyone is trying to figure out the connection between Bigfoots and these seemingly intergalactic UFOs, but there seems to be no reasonable connection. However, what is certain is that Ohio is teeming with paranormal activity in recent times. Eerie transporter.
Это же не дирижабль.
Нет, видишь?
Да ну нафиг.
Вон.
It seems aliens are making their way to Earth in large numbers. A Russian couple trekking the Ural Mountains last summer accidentally stumbled upon what appeared to be an alien transporter. At first, they didn't realize what they were looking at. It was a massive craft floating through the clouds. So huge, it blended right in. It moved slowly, almost carefully, as if not to disturb whoever might be inside. Could it be a transporter delivering aliens to their Earth base?
Слушай,
Вон оно,
нас не обманули.
точно.
Double trouble. This has got to be the most bizarre UFO encounter you have ever seen. They were captured in 2021, hovering above an unknown forest. To see one UFO is huge enough, but to see two this up close? This has to be the best day of the cameraman's life. Now it is hard to tell what they were doing. But it looks like they were trying to communicate with each other. Judging by their different aircrafts, it also seems like they belong to two different alien civilizations, since they're clearly not fighting each other. Is it possible multiple alien races are trying to unite against us? Oof, that's something I don't want answered. Utah's mystery. Now this is disturbing. It is the sum of all our fears, and the reason we are wary of aliens. A man in Utah was enjoying the sunlight on a cold day when an alien craft began approaching him from behind in the sky. Suddenly, there was a flash of light, and the smiling man was just gone. Was he taken away by the aliens for experimenting on him? We can't know for sure, as the man hasn't returned to his family yet. And it's already been a decade. Plus, it's a bit spooky how whoever made this video hasn't revealed himself either. Miners' trouble. The primary economic source of the Kuzbass region is mining for metal ores. However, in 2015, a miner discovered more than just metal at their digging site. He found a tiny UFO perched in the soil that they had just dug up. Judging by the size, it belonged to unimaginably small aliens, like the Smurfs. Or is it that the Smurfs themselves were alien creatures who came to Earth on such crafts? It wouldn't be surprising considering their magical and mysterious powers. But how did it even reach here? By the looks of it, it crashed here decades ago and was probably waiting for someone to discover it. Orb Marathon. There is definitely nothing spookier than something chasing you in some woods, but when it's an unknown entity, that has to be terrifying. And one explorer from California found this the hard way. An alien orb appeared from behind some bushes and began following the man. He was scared to the bone, so he began walking backwards, away from the orb. To those who will say it is a hoax, or AI. How was the orb able to move the leaves out of its way as it moved between them? Even AI can't be this good. Flyby. When the spookiness lands right near your home, you better start packing your luggage. As happened with this Chilean citizen living just outside the town of Arica in the Atacama Desert. A curious-looking UFO had crash-landed near his house. It did not seem to have a door of any kind. Or maybe it was so advanced the door was invisible. Or maybe only aliens can figure out the way inside. Whatever the case, the resident didn't want to find out what could happen next, and shifted his family to another town. Eerie encounter. Triangular UFOs. Look scarier, wouldn't you agree? At least one man driving on a forest road thought so. It was the middle of the day when he caught sight of it, an eerie-looking UFO. It was moving so slowly, you could say it was just hovering at a spot. Human beings just don't have this kind of technology, and by the looks of it, it was an alien battleship. Looks like it was on a reconnaissance mission, and let's hope it doesn't call its buddies to Earth. Golden glimpse. Residents of Montpellier, France saw a breathtaking sight in October 2014. It was a UFO, but it looked like it was on fire, or as if the whole ship was a huge bulb of light. Now, some did argue this was just a drone or something like that, but judging by the size, the control, and the light, humans have yet to invent such a craft, so at least we're clear this was an alien UFO. It is lucky that nothing out of the ordinary happened to the people, or else who knows why this flying object was making such a bold appearance that day. Dubious cargo. A driver passing through Bishop, California caught sight of a suspicious-looking cargo hoisted on a truck. It was going in the direction of Nevada. When you add 2 and 2, this UFO was definitely being transported to Area 51. Besides, we all know now that the government is building flying saucers in secret. The question is, what was up with this one? Maybe it was coming back after testing for repairs or modifications. We will of course never know, as the government has always kept mum about the subject. Stylish flight. A French photographer wanted to capture something amazing in the Alps, but what he got there was nothing short of spectacular. A UFO was flying away in the distance. Judging by how far it was one monster of a ship. And despite this, it made no noise as it floated away. Netizens were amazed at the ship too, as it was unlike any other UFO sighting they had experienced before. The internet did buzz with what was this UFO doing in the mountains, with most agreeing there was a secret UFO base in the Alps. But who knows? A picnic party. Banff is a beautiful resort town in Canada. Looks like some aliens thought so too. A tourist sighted a mysterious UFO there in 2023. It was unlike any other UFOs you have seen before. It was almost triangular in shape, reminding many of the infamous TR-3B, or Black Manta, allegedly crafted by our government. And looking at it, its engine seemed advanced too. Was the UFO really there for sightseeing? Or was it there for scout duty? Or maybe, just maybe, if this really is the Black Manta, then we've uncovered where one of their secret bases might be. Mystery dwellers. 10 years ago, an anonymous user uploaded a video of a UFO flying off a field in an unidentified location. Viewers were extremely thrilled at the sighting. Experts also said that the takeoff was consistent with previous sightings of UFOs. If you observe closely, the alien pilot is also standing beside the UFO before teleporting into nothingness. Over the years, there have been a lot of theories about what happened, but most people believe this was just a quick detour for the aliens. Wherever they were heading is beyond us, but at least they're not here any longer, right? Don't disturb. Barcelona, Spain has had its fair share of UFO sightings in recent years. A similar incident happened in 2018 when a hiker was exploring a forest there. He found a UFO there nearly hidden in the tall grass. The UFO suddenly started its engines and slowly took off the ground. It then trailed away from the sight of the hiker. Maybe it just did not like being observed and went away. But to think we could stumble upon something like this on a casual hike is pretty terrifying. Alp oddity. A farmer in the Alps could not sleep well one night in 2022. The reason was a mysterious craft that he saw earlier in the day while he was doing his morning chores. The flying saucer was hovering behind the trees, stopping momentarily before it finally whizzed up into the sky at breakneck speed. Disturbed and scared, the farmer did not share the incident with any neighbors, but then he uploaded the video on social media anonymously. One of the viewers identified the location as the Alps, and considering the sighting in a remote corner of a mountain valley, it was definitely an alien UFO looking for a hiding spot. Pristine flight. A Spanish citizen captured a high-tech UFO parked outside his house just a month ago. The disc-shaped UFO was parked like any ordinary car. You can't help but marvel at alien technology because there was no smoke or over-the-top noise when it started its engines. It even quickly accelerated into the sky without damaging the concrete floor. How did it manage to fly so seamlessly? One commenter proposed that it was probably running on hydrogen cells, a technology that our flying crafts have yet to master. Whatever the case, our bigger problem is Area 51, because that's exactly where this was going. Wake up now. Now and then, you see something that sounds so far-fetched, no one would believe you. But luckily for one Texan family, not only were they together, but also equipped with their smartphones. Seeing a UFO like this in plain sight is enough to make anyone lose their marbles, which is why they initially chalked it off as just a prop. But it was right in front of them, and they couldn't deny its existence. Why was the UFO so brazenly out in daylight? We've known aliens to be bold, but if they're appearing like this, do we even have a chance of survival? Hide and seek. A UFO was sighted hovering over a river in Portugal. The object was moving to the left first, but went straight back behind cover once it realized it had been noticed. Was this alien craft here only for observing us, or was it a scout ship for an alien force preparing to invade our Earth? Sadly, we'll never know. This one was ignored by authorities. And not for the first time. Governments around the world are silent and official, turn their eyes to the other side when asked about these mysterious sightings. Looks like we can only rely on ourselves to dig out the truth. Rising faith. It was an uneventful day in Portugal. A few friends were playing ball near a bay. Suddenly, a mysterious craft roared out of the water. It looked like something straight out of Star Trek, with a menacing vibe. What else could be lurking beneath our oceans? Turns out, it's not just creepy creatures down there. Who knows how long these unknown objects have been hiding under the surface? Do you think this craft was just hiding? Or could it have been observing life underwater? Let us know in the comments. Mechanical flyers. A teenager exploring a swamp in Canada wasn't expecting what he saw on that summer evening. A UFO appeared out of nowhere, landed, and then took off almost immediately into the horizon. The craft's movements were robotic and makes one uneasy looking at these unnatural movements. But since teens are too curious for their own good, of course this one had to run after it in hopes of getting a good look. Except when he'd finally caught the UFO landing and whizzing up, he realized what he had witnessed could get him in trouble. So he held on to the video and waited a couple of years before uploading. Which means we've got no idea about the UFO's destination. Plasma orbs. A couple in the Italian mountains captured a strange sight in their valley. It was an orb of light flying in the sky. Perplexed, the couple followed it only to find that the orb split into two.
Che storia, guarda, ma che?
One flew into the sky and the other one kept exploring the valley. When they shared the video online, a user pointed out that it was an aerial plasma phenomenon, or APP. These are balls of jellyfish-like plasma and behave intelligently like humans. Other viewers also said that they have seen such APPs before too. It seems like more and more types of aliens are visiting our Earth as time goes by.
Guarda, si sta muove.
Lost visitor. It's not just us. It looks like aliens get lost too. At least that's what I think is happening here. Or maybe this alien's craft broke down on its way. It was found by the citizens of a rural town in Russia some 6 years ago. But this wasn't its only sighting. Once residents heard of it, they were surprisingly relieved because it seems like the alien had been bothering them for quite a few days, but they were never really able to get confirmation about its existence until now. The only problem is, they were too afraid to confront it and let it escape. Humanoid goat. Sometimes nature plays pranks with us too. In April 2021, a goat owner in Russia was played by nature too. One of his goats gave birth to a kid. It was healthy and everything, but its face resembled that of a human being's. Was it a result of natural mutation? Or did the vet give the wrong medicine to the kid's mother before its birth? It is difficult to tell given the condition of the kid. Some say it could also be a crossbreeding experiment between a monkey and a goat, but who knows? Twin trouble. A couple of friends were hunting for gold in a forest in Kalgoorlie, Western Australia, and eventually decided to split so they could cover more ground. But suddenly they realized that they were not alone. A couple of UFOs were silently gliding along the tree line too. The UFOs were so quiet, even the birds weren't disturbed. Luckily for them, they were quick too, and recorded the UFOs before they could fly into oblivion. After hovering slowly for a while, the UFOs just flew out of sight at great speeds. They didn't find gold, but what they found surely beats that. Flawed perspective. Imagine UFOs with capes. That is exactly what a small Indonesian town experienced. A UFO was drifting just above the rooftops. It was draped with a cloth all around it. Maybe it was its protective cover. A netizen joked that the UFO was protecting itself from the cold. But maybe we should not joke about alien UFOs coming to our planet, because if it takes offense to this, who knows what it'd do? And to think we don't even know where this was headed. Well, since we've got no more updates, let's hope this was a one-time visit. Astral vision. Sometimes the things that you see are so mesmerizing that you mistake them for an astral vision. The same happened to the residents of a town in Mexico who saw an orb of light floating away in the distance. Its light was extremely bright even in daytime. Imagine how ethereal it would have looked at night. The orb also had a small ball of light revolving around it. It looked like a star floating away. No wonder the residents were excited at seeing something so spectacular. However, when the video was shared online, netizens were quick to point out that it was an astral plasmatic phenomenon. It is rare, but has been cited quite a few times now. Mysterious chipper. 11 months ago, an Indian resident found a mysterious creature chipping away at his boundary wall in the yard. It had menacing-looking scales. The resident recorded this with fear in his heart, thinking he'd unearthed some sort of demon. Finally, the creature left, and the resident uploaded its video on the internet. Turned out it was just a pangolin. It is an endangered species that likes to eat ants and termites. It must have found an ant nest in the wall, and that explains the chipping. Alien treehouse.
Hey believers, I think I just found something. I think it's an alien spaceship.
An American explorer found something extremely astonishing. He was walking through a remote part of a forest. There he stumbled upon a most peculiar scene. It was an alien UFO, all right, but it was tiny and perched in a tree. Looks like the alien took the idea from human beings and decided to make a tree house. Fortunately, there was no one at home at that time, or else who knows what the explorer might have faced. But keep an eye on the woods near your house. You never know if they're secretly hosting an alien.
I can't believe it. What is it doing?
Alien hideout.
Please come out, this isn't funny. Oh!
Somebody pinch me, because I must be dreaming. This is not real. This must be just acting. A farmer in Canton caught this on his cam. 7 years ago, an alien was there, scary and ugly, hiding in the fields.
It sees me.
The farmer tried to approach it, but the alien made some moves that scared the farmer, and he started running away. If you've got cornfields, folks, you might want to check for any unwanted visitors. They could be from outer space, too.
What are you?
Flying ring. Have you ever seen a UFO that looks like it could pass for a smoke ring? I certainly haven't, but residents of Tucumán, Argentina saw something similar to one on February 29, 2024. This UFO appeared out of nowhere above a citrus farm. It was unlike any other UFO anyone had ever seen. Did it have an invisibility function that malfunctioned? Or was it stuck in whatever interdimensional doorway it had just used to reach Earth? There is no telling, as this was a one-of-a-kind incident. The government dismissed it as an atmospheric phenomenon, but we know when the government says something is not true. It definitely is. Dwarf alien. Residents of a Texan ranch heard their dog barking outside. When they came out to investigate, they found something unexpected. It was the carcass of a dwarf alien, and the homeowners had no idea how it ended up there. It looks like it had been hiding in the trees all along, unnoticed. But how it ended up like this, we'll never know. Maybe it just fell out of the tree. But the mystery gets stranger. What had this alien been up to all this time? Being so close to a ranch, it must have been watching humans. Not a pleasant thought, is it? The Roswell Rock. The Roswell Rock is one of the unsolved mysteries of this century. Scientists have been unable to wrap their heads around it. It was found in 2004 near the Roswell UFO crash site. X-ray analysis has shown no magnetic material inside the rock, but it always turns towards the North Pole when left alone. And the mystery gets deeper with the markings over it. It has a couple of moons and planets engraved into it. These same markings were made in the 70s in a cornfield in England. But the cherry on top, the Roswell Rock has been dated to have landed on Earth 10,000 years ago. Boy, I need a glass of water now. Dementor's glimpse. A teenager in California wasn't expecting this when he went out to ride his bicycle in 2022. He spotted an octopus-like creature flying in the sky. He was amazed and petrified at the same time. When he uploaded the video on the internet, he got various responses. Someone called it a Dementor from the Harry Potter movies. Others termed it a hoax, but one user pointed out that you can feel the energy coming out of the object. And it was definitely a paranormal sighting. No idea what she meant, but it was one spooky object. Unearthly carcass. A Mexican farmer found a mysterious carcass in 2011 that sent shivers through his spine. He took it to the authorities, and after 3 months of tests, they came out with the most baffling conclusion. The carcass either belonged to an alien baby or a tiny alien, as it had unidentifiable DNA. Residents of the area where the carcass was found also reported sightings of a UFO in the area. But before things could straighten out, something completely unexpected happened. The farmer who had found the carcass suddenly vanished and was nowhere to be found. That has to be much more than a coincidence. Astral aliens. A farmer in Texas saw an extremely spooky sight just outside his ranch. A couple of ghastly aliens were observing the sight with keen eyes. They seemed to have been made out of wisp, but then they sort of disappeared into the background. And Viola, their flying craft standing behind them, just whooshed into the sky, but forgot the UFO. I'm more interested in how the aliens managed to enter the craft without a doorway. Can they glide through surfaces? Or is their UFO just that advanced? No wonder we don't see doors on UFOs, because the aliens just don't need them. TeleFOs. Explorers in the Mojave Desert, California, managed to capture an astonishing phenomenon. 4 bright orbs were floating at low altitude in a vast desert plain. These luminous objects moved in a strange way and suddenly vanished, as if they teleported to another dimension. This sighting has left many searching for answers. Is it possible that we are witnessing interdimensional jumps, since no other theory seems plausible? Also, what are their intentions? Well, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, as long as they don't bring an invading fleet home.
They heard us up on the mountain. And they disappeared.
Energelia. It is the end of the world, and if it isn't, what you're about to see is definitely not some angel. Captured in Huron, Canada, a bright UFO can be seen hovering above the ground with a beacon of light coming out of it. The UFO itself seems to be made purely out of energy. What is it doing here? A netizen has claimed an extremely wild theory that there is a secret organization called the Cult of Medusa, that has made contact with aliens. The organization's job is to help these aliens take away human beings for experimental reasons. Whether the cult is real or not, this UFO made of light definitely is. Tailed monkey. A guest at a South American ranch found a strange animal sitting on the farm's fence. He was perplexed. He had never seen such an animal before. He uploaded the video on the internet, and there was a buzz of comments. Some called it a bear, others called it a crossbreed. But finally, sanity prevailed, and a netizen identified it as a howler monkey. It is found in the South American tropical forests, and this one seemed to have lost its way home. Wispy specter. A man in Indonesia was camping in a forest when he encountered something completely unexpected. An astral form appeared from behind the trees and hovered to the right. It could either be a ghost or a specter. It could even be an alien UFO with invisibility tech. Whatever the case, it was totally spooky. And the man making the video decided to cut his camping trip short and get to the safety of his house as fast as he could. Smart move. Unicorn worm. They say unicorns are a myth, but not in Worm City. A farmer in Michigan woke up to a strange sight in his backyard in 2022. It was a caterpillar, all right, but it had a single horn like a unicorn. At first, the farmer thought someone was pranking him with a prop or toy, but then the caterpillar lurched to a side. Confused and thinking it was an alien worm, he uploaded the video on social media. There he was told that it was a hornworm caterpillar and it only ate vegetables. In later stages, it will turn into a moth and fly away. Pretty freaky worm, no? Mysterious debris.
Farmer from Ituna says while out working in the field, he and his eldest son came across an interesting piece of debris.
It isn't just UFOs that fly in our skies. Sometimes they leave their parts behind too. Ituna, Sask, Canada witnessed a bizarre sight in their fields in May 2024. A family of farmers found a strange kind of debris in their fields. They brought it home to investigate. It was unlike any human technology that they had ever seen. When the authorities got wind of it, they quickly took the piece away. And almost immediately, a NASA representative reported on TV that the debris belonged to a SpaceX rocket. The farmers were still skeptical. They could not deny the evidence that they saw with their eyes. The debris was definitely alien.
Far distance, we thought it was garbage, and then after that we got closer and we don't know what it is.
Unknown visitor.
Folks, there's an alien creature.
A couple in the Gulf Islands, Canada, found a strange creature when they were exploring a beach there in 2021. They did not know what to make of it.
Oh my God, it looks really strange, doesn't it?
As it had no identifiable features and had unnaturally long and thin legs. Netizens had no theories about the identity of this creature. After no way of coming up with something, they concluded that it was definitely paranormal. Many UFO enthusiasts believe this might be the carcass of an alien species that visited the Earth a long time ago and somehow wound up passing away.
Folks, there's an alien creature.
Monitor mystery.
The mystery creature this Titusville woman says she found on her property is creating a buzz. She says she doesn't know whether it's a reptile or a mammal. Either way, she says she wants it gone.
When even the internet fails to identify something, you know there is something genuinely mysterious about it. A woman in Titusville, Florida, found a mystery creature on her animal farm. It looked like a monitor lizard, but had a large jawline and human-like paws. She is an animal lover and still had no idea what it was. When posted online, netizens scratched their heads too about its identity. She even sent pictures of it to the Wildlife Association, and you guessed it, even they had no clue what it was.
The smell of this creature is so pungent, she says she's had to avoid the area, and she tells us she has no plans to remove it herself.
Will-o'-the-wisp. Transylvania, the land of Dracula, still holds its fair share of mysterious happenings, and this one happened in the vicinity of an ancient cemetery in the mysterious forest. Near the legendary Bran Castle, a will-o'-the-wisp appeared, petrifying everyone observing it. This phenomenon is both creepy and intriguing. It tends to happen in places with a lot of spiritual energy, like cemeteries. Some believe these are signs of spirits or even doorways to another realm, so you can imagine why seeing one near Bran Castle might be spooky. Open discussion. A few days ago, something strange happened in Manchester when a blue orb was spotted landing at the airport. Netizens tried to identify what it could be. Some believed it could be a UFO because of how unusual it looked. Others were unsure and thought it could be advanced military technology. The object was first seen flying in the sky, then seemed to descend and land. The sighting not only left people scared, but even passengers at the airport were also startled. So, could this be a visit from otherworldly entities? Or was something else at play here? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.